farmers entering from Ambala, following which there was a standoff in Kurukshetra, where once again there were dramatic pictures of water cannons being used, tear gas being used. The action now has shifted to Karnal, closer to the borders with the national capital now. Arun is at the Delhi-Haryana border, which has completely been fortified. Arun, where are you and what are you seeing?
Well, Rishika, just an update. I am in Sonipat right now, and this is Haryana border. Now, this is between Sonipat and Panipat. But an interesting way has been taken up by Haryana police here. The center part of the area has been dug up, and then the entire sand has been spread across the road. So, the entire road is here blocked. On the other side, if you see, these barricades are also being picked up here and put to restrict the entire stretch. All the vehicles have been stopped. Even our car is on the other side of this road. As you can see, Haryana police checkpost barricades here. Again, these barricades are also being put, and the center part of the road has been dug. Again, on that stretch, if you see, then there are few carriers as well put to restrict the movement. This is the main highway. I'm coming to you from Haryana border. On the other side is Panipat, and I'm currently in Sonipat. This entire movement has been restricted. All the vehicles have been asked to take a detour.
All right, Arun, so these are clearly preparations that are being made in order to prevent a standoff at the Delhi border. Is that correct?
Of course, this is not a Delhi border. I'm in Haryana. This is Haryana border, which divides Panipat and Sonipat, Rishika. And again, if you see, there are police personnel walking, and they have sticks, guns, and also tear gas shells in their hands. Now, I also spoke to SP, and I think we'll be able to play that bite in a while. But he refused to comment. Rather, he's here seeing the situation, and he was asking his team to put more barricades here. But he refused to comment on camera. And he did not really comment at why this part of the road was dug and this entire thing is spread across the road. So, of course, it's an attempt after taking a cue from what was seen at a Shambhu border. As Ghazali has been updating, Karnal is the next spot where the action is happening, but Karnal is not very far from Panipat. So, this place that I'm standing divides Panipat and Sonipat. This is Haryana border, and once again, multiple police personnel walking to different spots. There's a crane as well here, and now this area there was a way for bikes to go. Now this is entirely shut, Rishika.
All right, so my colleague Arun there reporting from the Haryana border, which is in Haryana. It is between Sonipat and Panipat, where preparations have been made. In the eventuality that the farmers groups actually reach that point, there are all preparations that are being made to stop them. What we're also understanding at the moment is that there are massive traffic jams on the roads leading to Delhi as the Haryana government tries desperately to block farmers from marching. So common citizens, common people like you and me have also been stopped at borders at the moment, preventing any movement, any entry from Haryana into Delhi. So that's an important travel advisory, traffic advisory for viewers joining us as well, that all entry points into the national capital from Haryana at the moment are seeing huge traffic snarls. And like I've been saying, those are pictures that we are currently getting to you from Karnal, constantly getting live pictures from Karnal at the moment, where as you can see, traffic has been stopped, that entire area, and this is presumably the national highway. It has been barricaded. No movement is being allowed. No farmer movement, no ordinary folk, no movement is being allowed. Tear gas shells are being used. Water cannons were used just moments ago as the Haryana police try and stop the protesting farmers from marching towards the national capital. And those are pictures of the huge traffic jams that are leading up to the entry points of the national capital at the moment. So there's high drama that is taking place along the Delhi-Haryana border, and of course these districts leading up to the Delhi-Haryana border at the moment. All of this are preventive measures that have been put in place by the Haryana government in order to prevent farmers from marching into the national capital. Just to put this entire story in perspective for our viewers, this is the Delhi Chalo Andolan that has been launched by farmers across different states in a bid to protest against the 3 contentious farm bills. They demand withdrawal of the farm bills. They're also at the moment demanding that there be a legalization of the minimum support price, something that has been a huge bone of contention between the farmers and the government. They're also demanding that the Electricity Amendment Bill 2020 be rolled back. Now, this is interesting because this is a bill that actually is a move towards privatization of electricity, which takes away free power supply from farmers. So this is a big bone of contention between the farmers and the central government at the moment. And they are also demanding a rollback on the fines that have been imposed on stubble burning. These are the demands of the farmers. There have been several rounds of talks between farmer organizations and the central government. Clearly, from those pictures that we're seeing on our screens, those talks haven't yielded in much. We will continue to get you live pictures from Karnal as well as the Delhi border. But let's just look at what my colleague Ghazali has been reporting on since the morning. This, remember, is the 3rd big standoff that we're seeing happen. Farmers have been stopped in several districts. Tear gas, water cannons have been used. Farmers have physically moved barricades and vehicles in order to continue with their protest march. Let's just listen in and look at what happened earlier today.
The farmers are moving away from the barricade, but certainly they are not going to leave this spot, because since yesterday they were anticipating that the government or the Haryana government will use all sort of tricks to keep them away from the border areas. Despite all the warnings, despite using tear gas shells or water cannon, farmers are still in the front row. You see all in front trying their level best to remove all these barricades, and it is only going to get shriller by the time if the government continues with this force. Check the visuals, boss. They are removing the barricade. Like in no other protest you would see that farmers or any protester braving this water cannon in this chilly weather. Despite that, this is what is happening here right now. They have lifted all the barricades here. Protesters are joining in. They will drop it into the river, and and police is just a mute spectator. They don't want to. There it goes. There it goes. So almost 4 or 5 barricades have been dropped, and now the water cannon vehicle is moving towards the farmers and protesters, or the farmers you say, they are still on the bridge. They are still raising slogans, raising their flags. They are not going to leave the bridge. They are not going to go back to their villages, since this program or this protest march was planned in a month in advance. Tear gas shells being used by the police now, and they are taking long targets till the end of the bridge to target the protesters so that they should leave the entire bridge. Initially we saw that farmers forced the cops to move backwards. Now the Haryana police now taking the lead, charging towards the farmers with their water cannon vehicle. So maybe more number of farmers, since in the last half an hour, certainly the number of farmers have increased. Tear gas shells are now being used, but the entire bridge on Shambhu border right now is... So now tear gas shells on the protesters right here. Tear gas shells, protesters is still not budging away from the bridge. Oh, shit. So heavy tear gas shelling right now going on this Shambhu bridge. We can go to Delhi. What is the objection to Haryana government? We are just using the highway, which is the national highway. And they are legally or constitutionally, they are entitled to use the roads or the routes to reach Delhi, and why they are being blocked for it. And the negotiations are going on. Haryana police officials, senior officials now marching towards the farm union leaders to convince them that do not disturb the law and order by entering into Haryana. And I think as of now, for the moment, they will not use any tear gas shell. Oh, now some stones are being thrown. Haryana government has put all these 3 trucks in mid of the bridge, and farmers are trying to push it and make ways for their tractors so that they can reach towards Delhi. So farmers finally, they have managed to get through from the barricade. They are moving towards, they are almost into Haryana now. Despite presence of heavy deployment of police force on these borders, finally their resistance seems to have paid off. They are moving towards Ambala district now. From here, they will have to face many barricades. They will have to see a strong resistance from cops here in Ambala district, and then they will move towards the subsequent districts or on the way Kurukshetra, Karnal, and the same route which yesterday the Haryana farmers took to reach to Delhi. And you see on that overbridge, their farmers are already there who are welcoming them into Haryana, because yesterday and day before yesterday many farm union leaders were arrested